John, for the fifth time this season, you come from double figures down to win, this time on an enemy floor in front of a hostile crowd. How do you see that performance tonight?
Yeah, like what I preach, what we preach is like our consistency. The scoreboard can play tricks on you sometimes, but if you play the right way for a longer period of time, it usually comes out favourable. And, 32 in the first quarter for them, 30, like that wasn't us. And then the way we approached it for the rest of the game, like momentum swung into our favour and we just stuck with it. Like the emotion, we stayed composed and executed well in the fourth quarter.
There was a feeling the Hawks didn't get enough out of the first half to go on with the job. How did you feel at half time confronting that smaller deficit than many people thought should exist?
Oh, they got plenty out of it. Yeah, like, what do you want me to say? Like, we felt like we were fighting to stay in the game, and our guys did a great job of battling, and that's what we talked about at half time. Like, it's not going to be perfect for 40, but we got 20 minutes to rectify those previous 20, and we're 6 down. So for us to come out with a good spirit about us, it was great.
Christian Doolittle, the experts called him unguardable at times tonight. I know it wasn't his career high in terms of points, but was that supposed to be his best game of the season?
Oh, look, the experts, that's funny. Doolittle's the same player like most of the players. They're the same all the time, but how you view that is interesting. But Christian's had moments, Dylan's had moments, Joe, like you could go down our roster where different guys have moments. Wagstaff, the last couple of games, like been a big contributor in ways that influence winning. So now maybe I'm spoiled, I get to see him operate every day. But Christian, I'm going to say, it's thrown out there like he's a great two-way player and probably doesn't get the credit he deserves with his play.
You played in Markville despite seeming to have a leg, groin, some sort of issue. Was there a little niggle there for Christian along the way?
Oh, not that I'm aware of. But like we ask a lot of him, especially in a game tonight. Like he's battling McGee, Froling, Peatling, and then he's initiating a lot of offense, taking responsibility in tough moments. So, like he's a competitor, as it was very well highlighted. He's just out there balling.
Dylan, you've won 7 of your last 8 now. Tonight's win was a big deficit again. How have you seen the team's progression during those 8 games? They only lost that 1 point thriller. How have you seen the team's development?
Yeah, I think we're doing a better job staying composed in these tight games here, especially when we get down, staying composed and getting on our offense. But most importantly, late in games, when they're able to make a run and feel like they're about to change the momentum, we're doing a good job of staying under control, getting to our sets and getting good looks in those moments. So I think that's something we were struggling to get early on in the season in those close games, and we weren't able to pull them out down the stretch. So I think that's been a big difference for us.
Sorry? Oh yeah, no, like he bounced back. Like any guys in this game get a quick tweak. They just want to make sure it's all good. So the minute he tapped me on the shoulder, that was good.
And John, when it comes to your season, that's 18 and 11 now, equal with Melbourne in that 4th slot. I think percentages might still be at play, but you've still got David Duke to come back, Jared to come back. Just assess Perth's situation right now, because I imagine fans have every reason to be pretty excited. Yeah,
look, we've just been, chipping away at it all year, as Dylan alluded to. We're doing a better job at closing games right now, but I think our group is comfortable with those moments. Like every good team has some patches throughout the season where they can be growing and learning moments, and I think that's what we've done a really good job. Instead of getting frustrated with the moment, like how do we get better in those moments? And we're getting rewarded right now for that.
I know points, Dylan, aren't everything, but Ben Henschel, if I do comment on him, because for a 6th straight game, double-figure points, lots of assists along the way, and he's equally his season high, both of them coming into Illawarra. As a teammate, what have you made of the development in Ben Henschel's game this season?
Yeah, super proud of him. Obviously, he's a big part of what we're going to do going forward. Until Duke comes back, he's going to be the guy at the point. And, I've seen a lot of growth in him over the course of the season, just staying with it. And he's been aggressive for us these last few games, which has led him to score more points. But that's what this team needs. He's doing a good job getting us facilitated, and he's making some good plays for us. So I think all around he's been a huge part of this winning streak for us.
Joe, he's not a true point guard, but he's delivering when you need him. I'll invite you to comment on Dan.
Yeah, look, I think our team is very comfortable with how we function now. We had some additions with guys that we wanted returning on our roster, so that takes a bit of time. We had an import change. We've had injuries like every team does, but we're not in a nice group. That really helps Henschel out. He's been out on the floor with familiar faces that he's comfortable with, and I think he's just found a good balance between being aggressive like for himself and then being aggressive to facilitate or create something for the team. And when I first saw him play, when I first got to Perth, the playmaking ability is something that I recognized. And what he's doing is he's just playing with a better patience about his decision making, way more under control than at the start of the season.
I know you get sick of being asked these questions, but just to tick the box, when you expect David and Jaron to be back in the...
Yeah, same as what I said last time. Like Duke is like literally like a day-to-day, week to week's not giving him justice. If he wakes up and he gets his strength test, he's good to go. Like he gets minimal practice with us and he's working out. It's just whether he can absorb different actions through that. Jaron will, we'll have to do a good job in the playoffs, So, yeah. But look, I always preach next man up, and we're doing a terrific job, and guys are growing in their roles.
Okay, just very quickly, then I'll hand over to Craig. Talk about guys stepping up, next man up, and tonight's a great example because throughout the game, you had different guys take over the point. So, you had Henkel had a really big first quarter, Dylan had a really big second quarter. Duke had to dominate in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter everybody stand up. Not be nice knowing that everybody's able to sort of take over and have their moments and really make their stand at different points.
Yeah, and look, I give the veterans on our roster a lot of credit for that, to be willing, to sacrifice for the benefit of the team and for their teammates. And, like Joe does a phenomenal job of that, like staying engaged, and he's down there mud wrestling with McGee and Froling and those guys. And, like, for him to just be okay, being a great teammate at the other end, like that's the nice thing about this group. Windler has his moments, Doolittle, but they get excited for like Pepper and Henny to have that. And then when Dante, I think Dante's done a great job over the last 2-3 weeks. Like he comes in and misses a three, but then he steps up and makes a big one for us. I think that was in the third quarter or maybe at the start of the fourth. To see his confidence grow in those moments is that's good. That's a good thing to see.
Maybe in mental as well. I mean, you're a couple of limits with 55.
Yep.
9 minutes. I mean, it's been probably the last 4 or 5 weeks. Every time you get on the court, he's making good things happen.
Yeah.
He's got and he's been doing it for 15 years.
Yeah, and that's what I talk about. I he's like my security blanket in moments, and those moments show at different periods throughout the game. But as you said, his impact and influence, it doesn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but there is a comfort when he's out on the floor that things are going to be done in a calm manner, and we're going to be organized at a high level.
Just lastly for me, Dylan, well, I like that how the team's been playing really well. And say after the whole season about how you want to be building towards playing your best basketball of the team at the right end of the season, and you're getting close to that now. Do you feel like you are building towards being the team that you want it to be?
Yeah, I definitely think we're playing our best basketball of the season right now. So, that's all you can ask for at this point of the season. You want to be peaking at the tail end of the season, going into the playoffs. So, I think we're just rallied around the group we got. A lot of guys, we played a lot of minutes together over the course of a season or two. So I think we got a good chemistry about us. Everybody's bought in. Everybody knows their role. And, I think it's starting to all come together for us.
Thanks, John. How are you, Carter?
Just a couple of on the same thing. John, we talked the other day about 3 games in 6 days being a challenge.
Yep.
Christian has spent 9 minutes on the bench across those 3 games, and the only time he was off today was when he looked like he deserved. Can you talk about his ability to stay on the court and play at that high level consistently?
Yeah, like he enjoys playing basketball. He loves competing. He loves winning. Perth Wildcats' success has a lot to do with Christian Doolittle and his performance. So, you know, I'm going to squeeze every little moment out of it to our benefit. But in saying that, where I think as a group we've done a great job is when we take Christian out of the game, like our team continues to build. Like Aquera's doing a great job. Like we haven't even mentioned Dave and his energy and just his ability to change the tempo for us has been really good. So we're just coming together at a nice rate. But obviously, Do is playing at a very high level right now.
And John, all the 5 starters spent more than 30 minutes on the court today, with this big run of games you've had. You've all had to do more with Duke and really try. Are you enjoying having to be on court more in an era where every single sport in the world rotates heavily? Do you find that actually helps?
I had a tough time hearing all that, but I think it was about the starters playing a lot of minutes. You know, I mean, you look at a game like tonight, you know, from top to bottom, I think all 5 of our starters played a pretty good basketball game. So I think in those moments, you kind of got to let us play. You know, I think we're doing a good job playing together. Not to take away from our bench guys, because I think they've been huge for us all season. And I think any of those guys could come in and play 15, 20 minutes for us on any given night. But I think a night like tonight, we had it going, our starting group. So, you know, I think we're obviously played 4 games in a couple weeks span here, but you know, that's what practice has built us for over the course of the season. You know, we go hard in practice, and it's built us for these moments.
Thank you.
Cheers, Craig.
Dylan, did you know that Perth is 10-0 when you get to 18 points this season, and you have 18 points in you each and every game you on it?
I guess that's all it takes, huh? So just, yeah, take as many shots as it takes to get 18 points and we win. So there you go.
Perhaps that.
All right. Cheers.